So you welcome him. You know who he is, no? The next one, your next speaker.
We'll see. Okay, yes. I will welcome
back.
one of my favorite speakers of LeWeb, Chief of Lego Social Media, Lars Silberbauer. I'm not very good at Danish. I think I'm going to ask you to stand one more time, please. This time I'm going to get it right, I promise. Awesome, thank you very much. And did I pronounce you well, Silberbauer?
Whatever works. Silberbauer, whatever.
Their tweet is out. So again, I'm going to give you a very quick rundown of Lego. So believe it or not, Lego is an abbreviation to two Danish words. Leg good. Is that how you say it?
Like God.
Okay. Meaning play well. So the company started in 1932, and it was more of a carpenter's workshop. And now, today, it's one of the biggest universal global enterprises. Only this year, maybe partly at the back of the success of the Lego movie, Lego has become the biggest toy maker in the whole universe. Congratulations. Not the world, universe. And toy bricks, which are the foundation of Lego, the ones that you see today, they were first introduced in 1958. And 4 years ago, however, Lego didn't even have a Facebook page. So this man came on board, and he started a Facebook page which today has more than 10 million likes. So well done on that. Lars, I want to start from the point that you come into a huge organization like that, great brand, loved brand, without absolutely no social media infrastructure. How do you begin to set up a strategy from the scratch?
Well, it's been a long journey. It feels like a long time, but actually it's gone quite fast. I would say that the first thing we did is basically just to assess where are we on different social media networks, where are we not, where do we have fan activity, and basically just from then on, starting out small with small projects, and then building those projects, scaling them, and continuously communicating to the rest of the company how this is working and communicating the successes that we are achieving. So from then on, it's basically the same strategy that we've been working on, and the strategy is basically to do stuff, to try out stuff, take some risks, be bold, but constantly feedback to the strategy, and then build the strategy based on what actually works and what resonates with the audiences. So that's basically the framework for how we've come so far.
I think why I think Lego social media efforts are one of the best examples is partly because whenever I check out your Facebook, mostly, is I never feel like you're trying to sell. Everything is about engagement, real engagement, as if, you know, it's like a family, let's play, let's have fun. Where does that come from?
I think it comes from the product. So the product is about play. The product is about playing together. It's also about, it's inherent in the product that you want to basically build stuff and you want to share what you've built with others. So if you have kids, you probably know the kind of where kids are coming to their parents like, look mom, look what I built. And that is inherent in the product, so that's why it has a natural fit with social media. Yeah, so that's basically that.
And you yourself have said that apparently, this is not your word, you basically pretty much hate traditional marketing. And in your words, basically Lars says, traditional marketing is simply like starting a shuttle, launching a shuttle, whereas social media marketing is more about negotiating the wind in a sailboat. I really like this metaphor, and I want you to sort of tell us more about that. What do you mean by that?
I think when you do a traditional, for instance, a TV campaign, you have a lot of investments up front. You need to do a pre-production. You need to do a lot of link testing of your content. When you finally have invested a lot of money, you have your content, and then you launch basically the campaign. 2 months later, you do an after-action review, and then you figure out if it was success or not. So that is kind of you launch a rocket. You put everything on one, like you have one chance to make it succeed. And social media for me is more like you actually need to get out on the ocean in a boat, in a sailboat, and you need to feel where the winds are blowing. You need to feel where the waves are driving you, and then you need to have a very excellent and talented team to navigate this boat and make sure that you are trimming the sails continuously when you have to have this journey. And you also know when you're sailing, you can't go in one line direction. You need to basically navigate and using the elements and the trends to basically make you come ashore at some point in time. So you need to get your feet wet. You need to get out there before you basically know how to navigate and how to do it and how to drive your I wouldn't say campaign because that's another word I hate, but I would say kind of the journey or the engagement that you want to have.
I wonder if this is a Scandinavian concept, because another Dane, Christian Andersen, is just publishing a book called Naked Marketing. Basically, he goes to Brazil. In a city in Brazil, they have completely banned any advertising, city advertising, billboard and stuff. And then he thinks, oh, that's very interesting. So how do you do your promotion marketing now? So does that sort of have anything to do in your Scandinavian, humble Danish roots?
I honestly don't know. I think it's not that we don't. Of course, we want to sell, but I think a sell doesn't need to be a push sale. I think if you do a lot of engagement and if people are engaged and you just make sure that the opportunity of purchase, when that shows up or comes up, you actually also are able to make that click through to the website and make that sale. So I think selling is not equal. That doesn't equal like push marketing or interrupting people in a flow. Some people like our products, they want to buy it, and we want to make sure that they have that opportunity when they're in that mood. So it's not like we don't want to sell, we definitely want to sell, but we want to be sure that we can sell at the right time, at the right point in time.
And sell you do. I guess you don't have any problems with the budget, but one of the really interesting projects that you did, you started getting, I think, if I haven't got the story wrong, you got your team to empty their pockets, and the whole change came to about $100, and you said, okay, next campaign with $100, what the hell can we do with this? So what was that?
So it was the first campaign I actually did at Lego, and it was together with a product line and a product that we did together with Apple, and it was a very complex product, so it's very difficult to explain what this product was about. So if you're in an organization, you want to have people to think differently about marketing, you can't give them $10 million because then they will do a TV campaign, they will call a creative agency, they will call the media agency, and if you have the traditional structure set in place, you will have the same product and the same output. So what I try to do is to put some different constraints on the way of doing a campaign or doing a marketing for a product. So we put the constraints up that we emptied our pockets, and that was the budget. It was $100. And then we created the campaign based on that, because if you have such a limited budget, you need to figure out what trends can we leverage, what is going on, what kind of buzz can we feed on. And that was how we built the campaign that traveled across the world. We got a lot of awareness around that product, and we focused on the storyline in the product instead of the product itself. So I think that's also very important that you find a story, you find something that people can connect to, and then the product is just coming after that. So that was, I think it's important. So in an organization, if you want to create different outputs and different campaigns or assets, you need to break down the structures and put other and different constraints onto your teams.
Okay, I'm going to make a confession. This is off the record. Don't tell anyone, just between me and you. My crystal ball idea is partly inspired by Lego. They did this really interesting campaign with some of your figures. People went and put them on top of different things or kind of overlaid it and then took pictures. And it turned out to become a fantastic global campaign. And you have been doing a lot of campaigns with basically user-generated material. Lots and lots of amazing, really high-quality videos. How do you manage to get people to let you use all those fantastic products?
I think it's important whenever you work with consumers that are engaged with your brand. We're very lucky to have a lot of fans, and we try really to appreciate and make sure that every time we work with them that there is a mutual value exchange. We don't want to basically just harvest content from our consumers. We want to make basically create a stage where they can be the center of the stage and they can be appreciated by the rest of the community. So that's kind of the approach that we have. We want always to make sure that there's a mutual value exchange going on whenever we use user-generated content.
A little Chinese bird told me that you've been recruiting in Shanghai. What's going on?
Well, so Lego is a global company. We're in 130 markets, and that means that kids are playing with Lego bricks basically 24/7. Hopefully also some are buying Lego sets 24/7, and people are building with our products and showing images online. So we also want to have a 24/7 operation, and that also means that we need to be present in all time zones. Everyone knows that prime time on social media, especially for Lego, that is in the weekends, and that is when people are going home from work. So if we're only based in London, for instance, where I'm based, we can only cover that time zone. So we need to make sure that we have the opportunity to actually make sure that we can be global, but also that we can be 24/7 in our operations.
But now you have that social media command center that basically is monitoring all the engagement pretty much 24/7, right? From West Coast, East Coast, London, where else? Soon Shanghai, I guess?
Yes.
And do you have another Asian base?
We're also based in Denmark.
Oh, yes. Oh, forgot that, sorry. One of your projects that is probably a streak of genius is Lego TV, which is pretty much like the Netflix for kids. And what you are doing, you're basically cutting off the middleman. You are creating an app that kids can log on and just watch there. I think many people will be very interested in that product today.
Yes, so Lego TV, it's not really a TV, but as you mentioned, it's an app experience on iOS, Android, and Kindle devices. And it's basically a way for us to make sure that kids across the world can access our content. So that's available, and we know that when kids start looking at our content, getting into the storylines, then they become more engaged in the product, and hopefully they will end up with playing with Lego bricks. We all know that kids are using tablets much more right now, and every month it's just increasing use of tablets. But we also want to use and leverage that trend to make sure that kids are playing with more Lego bricks. So that's why we've launched that product that is available in 24 markets and is also in France. So you can always find it on the app stores.
Has anybody got the Lego TV on their tablets? Show of hands. Oh, one person. 2, 3. Okay, come and see me. You get a prize from Lars. We'll negotiate something. Let's sort of, again, as I said, I think your approach to social media has been very prolific and very interesting because in just 4 years you have achieved quite a lot. What would be your top tips for anyone who's starting to create a social media strategy? Where should you begin? What steps do you have to take, and what do you need to incorporate in a strategy of that sort?
I think to create a social media strategy and also to execute social media, you need to have people that are social. So you need to recruit an amazing team of people that have empathy, that have emotion, and that are able to connect with the consumers. You mentioned our real-time media center, and a lot of technology is not really useful unless you have some people that can actually act on what we are listening and what we're hearing from social media. So you need to make sure that you have people that are actually able to understand and connect with the consumers. So I think a lot of what you need to do to make a social media strategy come alive is basically to have the right people and to work with the right team.
Okay. I think it's time to crystal ball you. You know the drill. You're going to look at the crystal ball and tell us what is in the future.
It's a good question. I wish I knew. I think for us, one of the things that or for me personally, one of the things that I think is important and going forward is that I think in 5 years' time, we will not just be listening to the US, Silicon Valley for startup ideas. If you look around these conferences, we'll see a lot of people from Silicon Valley, we see a lot of people from Berlin. But I think that in the next 5 years, we'll see one of the big players from China, from Asia, breaking out of Asia and also influencing the Western platforms on social media and digital marketing as well. I think that's definitely something that we should look out for.
A very important question. How do you expect me to fit that in a tweet?
You can figure it out.
Thank you very much indeed. I don't know if Ben, have you got any audience questions? Sorry, 1 second. Let's see if there are any audience questions, and then we will wrap it up. I'm assuming we don't have any audience questions. So thank you very much indeed for coming. Please join me in thanking Lars Silberbauer.